Hi, I'm Edward Grinnan, Editor-in-Chief of Guideposts, with the true mysterious ways from Scott Weber of Anchorage, Alaska. We've all had them, those inexplicable experiences that are more than just luck, more than mere coincidence. Here at Guideposts, we call them mysterious ways. The night before Scott and his friend Gary flew back from a hunting trip, Scott's mother had a disturbing dream. Had Scott known about her dream, he never would have gotten into Gary's two-seater Arctic Tern the next morning. Gary and Scott worked as aircraft mechanics at Cullis Air National Guard Base. They had taken a few days off to go hunting up the Talkeetna River in the remote interior of Alaska, where Scott had the use of a friend's cabin. Seconds after they lifted off the makeshift wilderness airstrip that morning, headed for home, an incredible jolt slammed the plane back down. Wind shear. They smacked the surface of the river, losing the landing gear, then skipped like a stone before hurtling across the gravelly sandbar at 60 miles an hour. The belly fuel tank erupted in flames. Instantly the plane was engulfed. As they skidded to a stop, Gary screamed, "Get out! Get out!" and dove out the door. Seated behind him, Scott struggled with his safety belt. He saw his hands catch fire, his skin burning like paper, as he fumbled frantically with the red-hot buckle. It was jammed. Pain tore through him, and he heard himself scream. Hot smoke seared his lungs. "I'm not going to make it out," he thought. Suddenly, a firm hand took hold of his left shoulder. Gary. The next thing Scott knew, he was standing outside, a short distance from the blazing wreckage. He threw himself on the ground, trying to smother the flames. Gary dragged him over to the river and made him lie in the freezing water. Finally, he helped Scott up. They stared at each other, their clothes burned away, their skin charred and raw. They were in desperate need of help. It would be another day before a rescue helicopter reached them, and months of agonizing treatment before they could resume normal lives. But something Gary told Scott made the terrible pain more bearable. When Scott thanked him for helping him out of the plane, Gary insisted it hadn't been him. "I was 30 feet away, rolling on the ground," he said. "I never went near the plane." And while Scott was in the hospital, his mother told him about her dream. "Scotty," she said, her voice tight with emotion, "I dreamed you were in danger. I didn't know what had happened, but I knew you needed help. I woke up, knelt by my bed, and prayed for God to protect you." At last, Scott knew whose hand had pulled him from the flames.